We're going to wait for a couple more people. I'm Bram from Cornerstone. I'm going to be doing the Understanding Dental and Vision Insurance webinar today. So we're going to give them a couple more minutes, see if we can get some more attendees. We have a few people already in here. Won't wait too long. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll try to get to them at the end. It's not a very long presentation today, so hopefully we'll get done within like 40-45 minutes. It'll leave some time for some questions, and we'll go from there. Hopefully you guys can see the first slide. It's just the introduction. Oh, that's me. A picture taken, not my best picture ever. That's all my contact information. If you have any questions, you want to give me a call or shoot me an email after the webinar, feel free to do so. My name's Bram Binsky. I've been a licensed agent since like 2008, 2007. So what's that? I'm coming up on like 18, 19 years, kind of 17 years. I worked in individual health insurance and small group health insurance and the Medicare market. So I'm familiar with all that, including ancillary like dental and vision, which we're going to be going over today. All right, dental insurance. Dental insurance for the individual market is important. Why go to the dentist? Preventative care. It's important to go for preventative care. To take care of, get your teeth cleaned so you don't have plaque buildup. Starts with plaque, and then it goes into periodontal disease and cavities. Dentists can see your cardiovascular health by looking at your teeth in some cases, and also to look for any unusual bumps or things that could be considered oral cancer. We don't want that, so you want to go to the dentist. I go twice a year, at least twice a year, I think, and I started off the year, I think, with one cavity, which I didn't like very much, and I've been working hard on my teeth. It's important to floss every day. I use the little floss sticks, and that works for me, but my dentist says that actually the actual dental floss is better. But I think that something is better than nothing. So if you're out there and you're thinking about flossing, I highly recommend it because it's made my dental visits a lot better, and it actually has slowed my gum recession. So when they do the cleaning and stuff like that, it doesn't hurt as much because I've toughened up my gums. There's there's employer dental coverage, and then there's also individual dental coverage. Today we're just mostly going to go over the individual type. Companies can get lower group rates than individuals typically. So usually an employer plan has a little bit richer as far as the benefits go, a little less expensive as far as the premium goes, and then obviously you have your employer that might help pay for some or all of that. So if you have a group dental plan and you're thinking about switching to an individual, I would say 99 times out of 100, probably stick with what you got. It's probably better than what you can get out there in the individual market. Of course, the downside of having employer-based dental insurance is it's not portable. So if you leave the job, you most likely will leave the dental insurance behind when you leave. So if it's important, if you're an independent contractor, you don't have the employer benefit, obviously. Individuals for you, if you're retired and over 65, individual health insurance is really your only option. It says here employee dental plans can be tailored to provide a fuller set of benefits. I think that's just what I mentioned. A good full coverage plan may cover other types of procedures, including preventative, routine cleanings, fluoride treatments, x-rays. That's what you want to look for when you look for either group or individual dental coverage. Basic restorative. Sometimes they call it minor restorative. It's fillings, extractions, non-routine x-rays, Sometimes we can add like deep cleanings into basic restorative as well. If you haven't been to the dentist for a long time, they do a deeper cleaning than you might get for a regular routine. So keep that in mind. Major restorative care, that's really when you're in a pickle. You need a bridge, crown, denture, root canal, would also be covered under major restorative. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the benefits, and we'll look at a couple of benefit samples here as we get further along. And then orthodontia. Not all individual health dental insurance offer orthodontia. Not all employer plans offer orthodontia. So you want to take a good look at those benefit plans, and if you've got yourself as an adult or children that need orthodontia and you want some help paying for that, you want to make sure that that is covered in the benefit statements, so you can get that some coverage, some help with that. Even if you go to an in-network dentist, the cost you pay for a given dental treatment may vary a lot depending on, the provider, the plan you choose. So we want to, when you're shopping for, you want to make sure your dentist is in-network just to begin with. Some in-network is better than other in-network. It might be a good idea to call your dentist and say, hey, do you take ABC insurance? I'm thinking about buying it. And they might give you, they'll give you their opinion on how it works and whether they cover it, and that's always a good way to go. When you're choosing a dental insurance, you got to look into some options. Deductible is important. Most individual dental plans have a deductible, $25 or $50 deductible before they'll cover anything. You got to meet that deductible. Then you have coinsurance. That's also obviously very important. That's the percentage that the insurance pays and the percentage that you pay. So if the insurance if it's 50% coinsurance, that means that you're going to be on the hook for half of the cost of the coverage, other than the stuff that is not subject to coinsurance. So things that are subject to coinsurance are similar to like what we talked about on the earlier slide, right? Minor restorative, major restorative, sometimes minor restorative might be 50%, or it might be 30%, where the insurance company only covers 30%, you're on the hook for 70%. And then there are waiting periods as well you got to watch out for. If you're in an emergency, a dental emergency, you may not want to pick a plan that has a waiting period because it won't cover these conditions that you have. If you're looking for a root canal or you need an extraction, you may have to wait 3 to 12 months if you buy a plan that has a waiting period. There are plans out there that don't have waiting periods. They're typically a little more expensive, but they're going to cover you right away. Another thing about waiting periods is if you're a lot of individual dental policies, they will waive the waiting period if you're moving from an employer-based plan to an individual plan. So you want to check with the insurance carrier to make sure they do that. Therefore, you don't have to wait that time period. They're going to honor you for the prior coverage that you've had. And then the annual maximum, that's the total amount that the insurance company will pay in dental per calendar year. And so that's also important to know. When you're comparing individual plans, I've taken 2 sample plans here. These are real plans from real insurance companies, and I just kind of put them in generic form. If you want to know what Plan A is or what Plan B is after the webinar today, just shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'll send you quotes for one or both of these plans. Plan A, you can see right there, the premium price is $62.91, and Plan B, $83.59, a little bit more expensive. So what are you getting? Well, with Plan A, the deductible is only $50, and that's nice. It's not less expensive, and it has a smaller deductible than Plan B, which is $100. Well, that makes that sort of puts the winner in that column if you're just looking for based on price, based on deductible. Things are looking pretty good over in Plan A. Let's keep diving in now. When we look at preventative, 100% coverage preventative day one. So that includes an exam for both, 2 cleanings for both a year, and 2 x-rays each year. So again, tie score. Tie goes to the lower premium, lower deductible. And then we look down at the basic day one in-network plan A, 65% coinsurance. That means that you will pay 65% and the insurance company will pay 35%. Here, if we look over here, you can see that under 19 years old with Plan B is 100% covered from day one. That includes filling extractions, minor restorative, oral surgeries. So for children, Plan B offers that. They don't make that distinction with Plan A. So everybody's going to have to deal with coinsurance even if you have children under 19 years of age. So that sort of makes Plan B the winner in that category if you're just comparing the basic restorative coverage. And then you see after year one, Plan A pays 80%, or pays 80%, and you're responsible for 20% that includes fillings and extractions. It's 50-50 for Plan B. So, that first year, Plan B might be a little bit better because you don't have to pay for children under 19, 100% covered. But then the second year, you can see Plan A pays a greater amount for coinsurance. So if you can get insurance now because you don't have an immediate need, Plan A might be better for you. And that way, by the second year, you're going to get better benefit in this particular category. As we move on, we look at major. Day one, 20% coinsurance. That means that in this case, you're responsible for 20%. After year one, it's 50-50. Again, it shows the great benefit for children on Plan B, 100% covered. Under 19, that's day one. And then there it is. Over 19 years old, it's 30% coverage. So they're only going to pay 30 cents on every dental dollar for year one for major restorative under Plan B. And then there's child orthodontia. Both these plans do offer child orthodontia. Not all plans offer orthodontia, and very fewer offer them for adults. But I picked these two plans because we could talk a little bit about orthodontia. Here you can see that day one, it's 15% coinsurance. That means you're going to pay 85% or 85 cents on every orthodontia dollar up to $1,000 per child for this child orthodontia plan. But if you can hold off and wait till a year to get orthodontia started, they're going to pay a lot more. 50% coinsurance up to $1,000. So that's $1,000 worth of child orthodontia. Orthodontia is probably more expensive than that, but that first $1,000 at least you're going to have covered at 50-50. So if the first bill is $2,000, 50% coinsurance, child orthodontia, this Plan A is going to cover $1,000 of it, and that's going to be the total maximum amount they will cover that first calendar year. If we look at child orthodontia for Plan B, it's covered at 100% if you're under 19. Wow, that's really incredible, right? So here we have 100% child orthodontia coverage. So if you have a kid that needs braces, Plan B seems to be a much better option than Plan A. And then no coverage, same as Plan A for adult orthodontia. And then the benefit is the same thing. So $1,000. When we compared these plans, I just used a generic age range, two adults that are 44, and then one child. And then I used at 45201, that's a Cincinnati zip code. So the pricing changes, benefits possibly could change depending on which zip code you have. So if you want to quote, we need to put in your specific details. It might be a different price and it might have some different benefits. But for these people that theoretically live in Cincinnati, these are the prices we have. Many individual plans will allow you to have continuous coverage if you're moving your dental plan from an employer to an individual. I touched on that. That's very important. Want to make sure that when you're doing an application for this individual plan, that before you start the application, you know that they're going to give you continuous coverage, and B, that there's some place on the application where you put down the name of your former dental plan, maybe the group number, so that it's processed properly, and then you get those continuous coverage benefits, which are so important. As you can see from the other slide, there's more benefits year 2, right? Didn't we see that child orthodontia? Let's go back one if I can. Oh, no, it doesn't let me go back one. So we'll just keep pressing forward, but if you have questions, let me know. I think my point is that there are extra benefits sometimes in year 2, year 3 of individual dental plans. So you can have those benefits waived, the lower benefits year 1 if you show continuous coverage. It's like starting on the individual plan at year 2, and you get extra benefits, higher coinsurance in a lot of cases, in some cases more actual coverage maximums. So it might be 1,000 in year 1, like that plan A. It didn't show it on the grid, but I think year 2 the actual maximum benefit goes up $1,000. So instead of $1,000 in maximum benefit, you get $2,000. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you put down your information on continuous coverage on an application, or when you're shopping for individual dental insurance, that you make sure that they honor your previous coverage so you get the maximum benefit that you're paying for. A couple of facts when it comes to dental. Planned dental visits, approximately 75% of American adults plan to visit a dentist in the coming year, and 65% of adults age 18 and over had a dental visit within the past year. So that's 3 out of 4 people that you're going to meet have been to the dentist this year. So that keeps the dentists very happy because they're employed and they have new patients, and it keeps the patients happy because they know that their teeth are constantly being evaluated and worked on and cleaned and everything like that. Oral health impact, a staggering 87% of people say that poor oral health negatively affects their life. Well, I would imagine that would be the case. I wouldn't want to walk around with a sore tooth, or a loose tooth, or bleeding gums, or horrible things like that. So makes sense. Not good to walk around with poor oral health. Oral health awareness: over 90% of Americans understand the importance of maintaining a healthy mouth by seeing a dentist regularly. About 7 out of 10 Americans brush their teeth twice a day, but 23% admit to occasionally skipping brushing. So, my dentist said that I brush too hard. That's a common problem some of you guys hear. I was using an electric toothbrush for a little while. I think that helped out, but just personally what helped me out was brushing down away from the gums. I mean, I'm not a dentist, but I'm going to give you that piece of advice anyways, because all 49 years of brushing my teeth, and I just learned that maybe if you brush down away from the gums, it's a little bit better. So that's just a little tidbit from me. Flossing habits: 1/3 of Americans floss daily, 1/3 floss occasionally, 1/3 never floss. 20% of people floss only when they have food stuck in their teeth. Gross. An individual from low-income groups are more likely to skip flossing. I think I mentioned earlier I use the little hooks for my flossing, and I found that because you hook down and you get through between the teeth, and you push down on the gums, it makes your gums a little tougher. I think it slows down recession, so it's really helped me out. So I would recommend, if you're not flossing or you're only flossing on occasion, that's a really good habit to start. Halitosis worries: 30% of Americans worry about halitosis or bad breath. Yeah, definitely brush your teeth so you don't have bad breath. Oral health knowledge: only 1 out of 2 people in the U.S. have a solid understanding of oral health, correctly answering 8 questions on the oral health test. I wish I had the test so we could all take it and see how well I could do, but I don't. So I'm not sure what the oral health knowledge is out there, but hopefully after this webinar you will have a little bit more. All right, other facts to sink your teeth into, pun intended. Older adults. I guess I will try that word. Edentulous cases. 20% of older adults have lost all their teeth. So you don't want to be in that 20%, but if you are, teeth are kind of important, especially if you want to eat steak. So you got 20% of older adults out there that might be in the market for bridge work or full dentures or things like that. Gum disease, 2/3 of older adults suffer from gum disease. Again, talk to your dentist about how you can prevent or slow gum disease. I think flossing helps out a whole bunch in that case. Cavities in elders, 96% of adults over age 65 have had cavities. Well, I ate lots of candy when I was a kid, so I got most of my cavities between the ages of 0 and 18. And back then they still used like metal and lead and all kinds of horrible stuff. They don't use that anymore. They use porcelain now. So definitely check your teeth. The bite wing x-rays help a lot in searching for cavities. It's really hard for a dentist to see a cavity sometimes, and so you want to make sure that you're doing x-rays every 6 months so that they can get a good idea of where you're at, and then they can tell if you have any cavities, and they can kind of nip it in the bud. When it comes to other facts, gender disparities, dental visits, 69% of males report a dental visit in the past year versus 63% of females. It's kind of surprising. I'm not sure why that is, but interesting enough. Oral health issues. Men are more likely to develop gum disease, 56% than women. So the ladies have gotten lucky on the gum disease. And in contrast, women are at higher risk of dental caries versus men, just by a slight amount. So I'm not sure how to take that. When it comes to dental hygiene habits, women floss more often, are more embarrassed by tooth loss, more likely to receive professional dental care. Us guys, we tough it out. So no need to do that. Get your teeth taken care of. It's very important. More facts. We got lots of facts today to sink your teeth into. Dental visits. Connecticut ranks as the healthiest state, with 76% of residents reporting past year dental visit. Wow, so there's lots of good smiles in Connecticut. Unfortunately, at the bottom is Mississippi, with only around 54% of people visiting the dentist in the past year, and that ranks as the least healthy dentist state. So probably a lot of missing teeth in Mississippi compared to Connecticut. When it comes to dental coverage is the highest in the New England area, lowest in the southeastern and the south central United States. Dental care costs. Roughly 30% of people with dental coverage in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma have not seen a dentist in the past year. 3 out of 10 people. In contrast, only 14% of people with dental coverage in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Rhode Island have not had a past year dental visit. So those people take their dental care more seriously in New England than they do in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. So just interesting facts about how people are different in different spots. Ideal oral health. On a 10-point scale, Illinois scores the highest at 8.6, while Alaska scores the lowest at 7.2 as per the American Dental Standards. Okay, that's mostly about dental. If you have questions about dental, put them in the chat. We'll go over it. This is not just about dental. We're doing a little bit of vision information as well, and so that's where we're going now. Let's talk a little bit about vision insurance. Again, when we talk about vision insurance, similar to dental, you usually get better vision coverage through an employer, but again, you have a portability issue, or if you're retired, then you need to shop the individual vision insurance market. What is vision insurance? Good question. Helps with vision-related expenses for treatment and preventative care, like eye exams. Maybe used for routine eye exams, glasses, contact lenses, and surgery. Separate from health insurance, though some plans may include vision insurance, and it works like a health insurance plan. It's got a premium, it's got a deductible, it has an out-of-pocket maximum, it has coverage limits, so always you have to check the details. And I took 2 plans here to compare, Plan A and Plan B. Again, if you're interested in these plans, you just let me know, and I will send you a quote and tell you which company is which for these 2 plans. These are pretty similar. You can see the premium price is not so much more for Plan A. Here, Plan A was more expensive than the Plan A compared to Plan B for the dental. So So Plan A is a little bit more expensive. The deductible is the same. Here you get an eye exam every 12 months. Same thing for Plan B, which is $2 less, almost $2 less. Although they do make they expand their information by saying the exam with dilation is a $15 copay. Plan A doesn't make that distinction, which makes me think that they probably won't cover an exam with dilation. So if you know that you're going to need to get dilated, Plan B, obviously the winner here. So when we look down at the $25 as opposed to $15 copay for the frames and the lenses. $15 frame, $25 eyeglass lenses deductible every 2 years. And then I think it's a $15, no, there is no copay for that. So $15 frame copay, that's pretty slow. That makes Plan B very interesting. They both cover up to $130 on frames. So even though there's no deductible on no copay on Plan A for the lenses or the frames, you still have to pay the $25. Oh, there is a $25 deductible as opposed to a $15 copay. So no copay, but a deductible. No deductible on Plan B, but a copay. Anyway, you slice it. It's cheaper on Plan B to pay the $15, whatever you want to call it. You're getting the same amount of benefit. $130 for the frames and the lenses is what they will cover. Bifocals and trifocals and lenticulars are covered in full. No copay. It's a $15 copay on Plan B. Contacts up to $130 for contacts, just like lenses and frames. If it's medically necessary, they cover it in full. No copay, but here there is a copay on Plan B. So I think it's kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You can see they're both iMed Network. iMed Network is Pearl Vision, Target, and a couple other online carriers. So that's it. That's most of it. That was 27 minutes of dental and vision. I kind of ran through it fast. I'm sorry if I went too fast. Let me take a look and see if I've got any questions out here. I have do I have questions? Yeah. Laura asked a question. What about pre-existing conditions? That's a good question. When it comes to dental, I don't think that pre-existing conditions are going to be an issue. That's why they have waiting periods. So they don't say we won't cover this, we won't cover that. As far as like periodontal disease or bleeding gums or things like that, they're going to cover it, but there's going to be a waiting period unless you have continuous coverage. So you don't have to worry about pre-existing condition exclusions. In fact, when you look at these benefits, it shows you everything that they're going to cover. And if your condition isn't on there, then they're not going to cover it. So I guess in that sense, it could be considered a pre-existing condition exclusion, but it's easy to check. Unlike a medical or health insurance where there's so many conditions, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's hard to check for a pre-existing condition because there's just so many conditions, so many terms and exclusions and limitations on a health insurance policy. It's much easier to get all the answers you need when you look at a dental or a vision plan. So that's all good. Are these plans available on the marketplace? No, these are not marketplace plans. The marketplace does have they're called essential health benefit plans. I didn't really go over that today. Those marketplace plans typically that are offered by insurance companies, they're less. They don't cover a lot. Like we saw a maximum benefit of $1,000 on these individual plans, non-ACA plans, whereas the plans I've seen on the marketplace sometimes only have $300 worth of coverage. So you need to be really careful if you're going to decide to get an ACA or a marketplace dental plan to see what the coverage looks like, because it's a lot of times, in general, not in every case, you're going to find that those plans on the marketplace have less benefit, less maximum that they'll pay out. Thanks. What about enrollment period? Is it once a year? No, none of those regulations that you would find in the marketplace. They really don't apply to individual dental insurance. This is just the government doesn't really have a finger in it or their hands in it. They're not subsidizing it. These are plans that are between you and the contract and the policy with the individual health insurance company or dental insurance company, I should say. So you can buy them whenever you want. You can cancel them whenever you want. There's no open enrollment period on any of that. But that's a good question. I'm glad that somebody asked that. Any other questions for me now? My contact information should be on the email. It should be in this presentation. Again, my name is Bram Binsky. Thank you so much for coming in and listening to me a little bit about dental and vision. I hope it was helpful, and we'll see you soon and talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Oh, there's one more question. I only have insurance for the marketplace, so I guess I'm not eligible for any of these plans. No, you are eligible for the plans. These are private insurance plans, so you can go out and purchase them and use them in conjunction with a marketplace plan. They're a separate, total different thing than the ACA plans. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.